I'd like to welcome you to this video course on making sense of attention problems. Attention problems are incredibly common. We all experience them from time to time. I'm having difficulty these days remembering what I went up the stairs for and go back downstairs to try and remember. I've been known to put my wallet into the fridge. I'm sure I'm thinking I'm putting something away. At least I didn't put it in the dishwasher. But doing things like this, of course, we all have problems attending to the task at hand from time to time. The question is, or the issue is sometimes these things happen more for certain people, for certain children than others. They're not situationally acute, they're more chronic, they're more persistent, more pervasive. And it's trying to make some sense of why these things happen. And that's what I hope in this material today. I first got interested in this area in working with, as a consultant to 3 prison schools. And all the adolescents there suffered tremendously from problems attending, concentration problems, keeping focus. They were all experiencing problems with impulsiveness. That's why they got into prison in the first place. And for the most part, they were all fairly restless, agitated, hyperactive. They all would have qualified for what today we call attention deficit disorder or attention hyperactivity, ADHD disorder. I'll actually refer to those two under one label, ADD, referring to both of those particular versions. But they all qualified, and they all would have qualified for that particular diagnosis because of having those particular symptoms. And their academic performance, of course, was adversely affected tremendously. Then one of my children experienced a kind of attention problem that I had seen clinically a number of times, but had never had it at close hand. And it also fascinated me and began to study this more. So what I hope to do is, in this 4-hour course, be able to make sense of the field, put the pieces together for you. It's been 35, 40 years of trying to put the pieces together myself, from science, from research, from theory, professional experience, trying to put these pieces together. Hopefully I can put them together for you so they make sense. The attention deficit disorder label brought this whole area to the forefront of people's consciousness. Tremendous controversy in the area. And hopefully I can shed some light on why some of that controversy exists. The problem is that even though the attention problems were brought to the fore in terms of public consciousness, there was no body of foundational knowledge to be able to help parents make decisions, teachers understand what was happening to their students, clinicians do more than just make diagnosis, but understand what was going on. And so somehow this attention eclipsed the foundational knowledge. And what I hope to share with you today is giving you that foundational knowledge that is absolutely essential to be able to make informed decisions. Whether you're viewing this as a parent, viewing this as an educator, viewing this as a clinician, to help understand what's going on, to be able to discern more, to be more informed in your recommendations and so on. And so hopefully regardless of what you're viewing this as your role, that this will help you in making more informed decisions about the children in your care, to be able to understand the what is going on instead of just a label that you ask, does the child qualify for this label or not? More understand the different things that can go wrong, the different things that are right, actually, the way the brain works. There's many attention problems we have simply because the brain is working the way it should. Not all of it is happening because the brain isn't working. Sometimes our brain doesn't serve us. like when my wife is talking to me and I'm already thinking, and so I don't hear what she says. That doesn't serve me very well at all. But actually my brain is working very well. It's working the way it's supposed to work, just not the way she wanted it to work. And often that's what happens, is the brain is working very well in our students, just not we would like them to pay attention to us. But actually, that is not how the brain works. Attention is directed under certain circumstances and so on. And so that gives you just a little bit of a background that we're going to go through together. Our overview of our 4-hour course together. We're going to start off with making sense of attention. I call it the anatomy. Anatomy means both analysis and structure. And so just get some idea. We could call it Attention 101. If you were taking a university course, it would take the whole year, but we'll do a crash course in an hour. And there will be no exams, so you don't have to worry about this. But create a foundational knowledge. Absolutely essential. This is what is missing. Even many clinicians do not have this information. And so many clinicians are just going from a chart to see the symptoms that are there and don't know how attention works. And so their recommendations are not informed. And so we'll start with the anatomy of attention, absolutely essential. Secondly, we'll look at two very common garden variety types, you might say, of attention problems. Two very common types that both result in focus problems, inattention problems, distractibility, but come from two completely different reasons. So we'll look at two very diverse kinds of attention problems and how to tell the difference. And then thirdly, we'll take a look at a natural explanation for children experiencing being impulsive, having attention problems, and restless or agitated all at the same time. And if you are all at the same time, it qualifies you for a classic diagnosis of ADD. And so it is if you have those all at the same time and they're fairly persistent. They're not just situational, but they're more traits in terms of your personality than just being caused by a particular situation or circumstances. If this is so, then it would qualify a child or an adult for that particular diagnosis. Most people assume that if that is so, it means there's something wrong with the brain. We're going to look at a very common explanation in which the brain is working absolutely the way it is meant to work. That is a natural explanation, except it's not working the way anybody else wants the brain to work. But it is actually working right. And so we're going to differentiate between when the brain is working as it is meant to work and when it is not. Usually when it is not, we call it, we say there's neurological involvement. Now that also is a bit of a misnomer because there's neurological involvement in everything. If you blush, there's neurological involvement. You have a thought, there's neurological involvement. There's neurological involvement everywhere. And the brain reflects how it's used. And so, of course, there's brain differences and neurotransmitter differences. But sometimes something has gone wrong very early in development, even as a fetus. And so there's a neurological explanation for something in which it is the cause rather than a natural explanation. Natural explanations usually can be reversed. A neurological explanation, if it's the cause, we have to work around. And we'll take a look at both of those. In this case, in the third session, we're going to look again at a natural explanation. The good news here is that when there are natural causes, it is much easier to reverse. And so it's these things. And so it's important to understand. And then finally, we're going to look at the ultimate solution for attention problems, which is maturation, helping a child grow out of it, no matter where, whether it has happened because something is wrong with the brain. There's a neurological glitch that has happened. There has been some early problem in the development of the brain, or whether it is a result of simply the way the brain works. It's the circumstances that the brain is having difficulty with, and so on. And so that is our overview. That is our plan. And